What do you find to be your true calling? Is it acting?
It's very hard. I want to do all of them. I would love to.
Still practicing law?
Now I am not. I did for a very long time. Contracts, I can't. Everybody's like, are you an entertainment lawyer? I'm like, no, because contracts are boring.
I have an amazing guest today. She's my friend, actress, producer, writer, Trisha LaFache. She just launched her podcast, The Unborn, which she hosts and co-writes with Frank Rodriguez-Mall. Trisha is known for the role of the attorney, Deborah LeSueur, in the Amazon Prime hit series Jury Duty, alongside James Marsden. Known for her range, Trisha has brought to life strong-willed characters across major TV dramas such as Law & Order, NCIS, Doubt, Westworld, Mad Men, and Fox's Rake with Greg Kinnear. A little bit about your work and how you started.
When I was 5, I did a production of Annie, and I wasn't Annie, even though I was redheaded. I was too young to play Annie at the time. Anyways, I walked up to the director and I said, Dr. Slayton, there is something terribly wrong with the choreography for these adult numbers, and I need to fix them for you. And he said, go ahead and do it. So that was the first time I got a taste of choreographing and doing stage picture, and I just loved it so much. But then,
what is your own definition of success?
You know who you are and they don't. Because you know who you are, that is...
Hey everyone, welcome back to Live with Purpose. I'm Anna Lawson, your host, and I created this show to inspire you to ask yourself that most important question. What do I want? What is my life purpose? I believe that most people live their entire lives without ever asking that really important question. Maybe you are living your life and you are fulfilling your parents' dreams, or maybe your spouse's dreams, somebody else's dreams. But we are here to encourage you to ask yourself, what do I want? What do I enjoy doing? What gives me energy? So it's a challenging journey, but it's worth it. At the end of each episode, I give you actionable steps that you can do at home to actually get in alignment with your heart and with your true calling and your true purpose in life. I have an amazing guest today. She's my friend, actress, producer, writer, Trisha LaFache. Hi, Trisha.
Hello, how are you?
So great to have you here.
So great to be here. Thank you for having me.
She just launched her podcast, The Unborn, which she hosts and co-writes with Frank Rodriguez-Mall. Trisha is known for the role of the attorney, Deborah LeSueur, in the Amazon Prime hit series Jury Duty, alongside James Marsden. I'm so grateful that you are here.
I'm so grateful for your show and what you're doing.
That you are here with us. Trisha, your body of work is impressive.
Oh, thank you.
And you accomplished so much. So tell the audience a little bit about your work and how you started.
It's interesting, a couple things that you just said. I've been kind of obsessed with the concept of the difference between achieving happiness and achieving fulfillment. How I started thinking about this was I was speaking to somebody who I said something to them about this past year and not feeling like my flow had been the same in 2024 as it was in some years prior. And she said to me, oh, wow, that's so strange because I see success all around you. And I feel like you are perceived as so successful in your objectively successful. And I think that what you're feeling is a little bit of a lack of fulfillment. Now, when she said that word to me, it just happened to be a word that I hadn't thought about in some time. I think a lot about wanting to be happy, and I've kind of thought about the sort of myth that even though we're living in the world that we're living in with so much strife and dissension and pain and meanness and cruelty, for some reason we escape our childhood still believing that we are meant to be happy. And the pressure of being happy every day, especially when you live in California when it's always sunny, the oppressive feeling of I should be happy, I should be happier. But then I think about moments, even in this year that I'm saying felt challenging, where I was so happy and had such a great time. But what is the difference between happiness and fulfillment? But I've just been thinking about it a lot. And it does loop back to my journey and how you introduced the show, which was living in your purpose for your family, living for your spouse, for your children, for whatever it is that drives you. And when I was a kid, I was an actor and community theater, not professional. I begged my parents. I did a whole PowerPoint presentation about why I should go to boarding school and get an agent, and if they weren't having it. But when I was 5, I did a production of Annie, and I wasn't Annie, even though I was redheaded. I was too young to play Annie at the time. Anyways, I walked up to the director and I said, Dr. Slayton, there is something terribly wrong with the choreography for these adult numbers, and I need to fix them for you. And he said, go ahead and do it. So that was the first time I got a taste of choreographing and doing stage picture. And I mean, I just loved it so much. But then as I got older, I was very, very into ballet. And the ballet program where I'm from was much more serious than any acting program that I could have participated in. So I thought I'll be a ballerina. I was gonna apprentice with the Boston Ballet. I got injured. And my parents were like, fantastic, you're going to be a lawyer. And I was like, oh, I am? But when I went to college, I immediately wandered into the theater department and, started taking theater history classes. And I had a professor in one of those classes, James Farrell is his name, and he said to me, why are you a theater history major? And I said, I love history and I love the theater. He said, you're an actor. And I was like, oh, because he had us reading out loud in class certain parts. And, whenever I got called, and he was like, you're not in the acting program? And I said, no. So I pivoted and moved into a political science and theater acting major. And when I graduated, I wanted to go to Yale, Juilliard, or NYU for my master's because I thought any professional actor had to do that. So I auditioned for Yale and I stunk up the joint. I mean, when I tell you I was terrible, I was still crying during my comedic monologue. I was, holding on to Lady Kate while doing Savage and Limbo. And I just remember the girl handing me a tissue at the end, like, be gone, you're horrible. So I went to law school to maintain my father's love because I thought, well, I'm terrible at this, and so I should go to law school because if I don't do that, my father won't love me anymore. And then I graduated from college, and he was like, I'll be happier at the JD. I said, okay. And then I graduated from law school, and he was like, that's my girl. So actually, law school was a wonderful time because I got an agent my first week of law school. So I decided to quit acting, but then I went to law school. And my very first week in law school, I met a guy, his name is Dan Chen, and he had an agent and he was pursuing acting while he was going to law school. And I said, well, if you can get an agent, I bet I can get an agent. And so that's what I did. And so in law school, my first job was in my first year of law school. It was Garden State and with Natalie Portman and Zach Braff. And then I started booking Law and Orders and a bunch of other independent films in New York with Tilda Swinton and Vera Farmiga, Melissa Leo, Jean Smart. And I was like, this acting thing is easy. Wait, why did anybody say not to do it? And then it got really hard.
So you're in New York City at this time?
Yes, in Brooklyn Law School, the Princeton of nowhere, yes.
So you are actually such a great actress.
Thank you.
I just have to mention this for our audience. I think it would be really funny. You were actually my acting coach.
I was.
So Trisha,
and you are also a great actress.
we just met. Thank you. We just re-met at the red carpet of Astra Awards. And I was like, Trisha, I know you from somewhere. I was like, did you teach at Leslie Kahn? You were my acting coach. This is just so brilliant. But this is so interesting what you just said. You wanted to make your dad proud.
Yes.
And so many of us live this, and it's I just wish I think that we will live in a very different world.
Yeah.
The parents understand that their children are part of them, but they're not extension of them.
Parents want what they want because they don't want to worry about us, and they want us to take a safe path so that we are protected in life. Opportunities are either there for you or you create them, right? And so my father's whole thing was, part of the thing I thought was so challenging about them being so against me going into acting is they're the ones that put me in the arts. They're the ones that gave us piano lessons. They're the ones that gave us flute and acting and ballet. And I didn't pick it. But same thing, it's not going to change across the pond or across the world because your dad is still your dad.
But he was wonderful. And he was always actually taking me to my auditions. My first TV series that I booked when I was 8 years old, he actually took me to an audition. And you're an adult, you understand how it's from their point of view.
Oh, that's how I actually stopped practicing law, was when I started teaching acting. And I realized, oh my God, this is so much easier than worrying about whether I dotted every I and crossed every T and looked at every piece of paper that the government gave me 10 times. And then all of a sudden somebody walked in and handed me some sides from Hacks or 2.5 Men or Chicago PD. And I was like, yep, try it like this, try it like that. You're gonna be great. And I never had to think about them again. I mean, of course, I get excited if they got the part, but it wasn't like how I would lay up at night and be like, oh God, court tomorrow, what's gonna, so stressful. And that's the thing, sometimes when you do something for yourself, right? All of the rejection that we have had to experience as actors, right? That's us. It's something that we have to deal with.
Trisha, describe yourself in 3 words.
Ooh, I am driven, and I am respectful, and I am entertaining. That's at least to my husband.
That is true. How do you find a life purpose?
I think finding your life purpose is at least a monthly, sometimes weekly, sometimes daily, sometimes minute by minute challenge. When I feel myself feeling frustrated or aggravated and nothing external is happening, that's when I have to tap in and think about the things that I want. I mean, luckily for me, I do work. I have like 3 or 4 projects with my husband, Frank, and I have
He's also an actor.
He's not. He's just a writer.
He's a writer.
Mhm.
Okay, great.
Yeah. And I'm working on a show with my dear friend Sosie Bacon, and I find my life's purpose by finding ways to tell stories. But what's good about it is that my husband and I, we went to see my family in New York for Thanksgiving, and we were with the family for, 8 days in a row. And one night we just decided, let's just go have a drink, just the 2 of us. And as soon as we sat down, I said, I have an idea for the cold open that hasn't been working for that thing. And he's like, yeah. And 2 seconds later, he's got his notes out. So there's a lot of like creating and,
I think that's great that you can guys create something together.
Yeah.
That's like amazing. Share with us a typical day in your life.
I usually wake up early so that I can have my coffee in bed with the dog. But now, since the tree is up and our house is so cute, we will put the fireplace on in the morning, whether it's 7:45, and have our coffee out there. Then exercise. Then come home and start writing. Kind of create my daily schedule the night before. Since I have a couple things that I'm working on, different projects here and there, I want to make sure that I devote the time to each of them.
Do you do meditation? Do you meditate?
Yeah.
Yoga?
So
What is your mindfulness routine like?
That's the other thing. So we wake up in the morning and we do breath work. So we do 15 to 20 minutes of breathing, where the first cycle is slower breath with a maybe minute hold. Then the second is more quick with then maybe a minute and 30 seconds hold breath. And then the last one will get to kind of like a breath of fire level of breathing with a 1:45 to 2 minute hold. We also have
And how long is the exhalation? You inhale and exhale for the same amount? And you hold between.
So you could do like 4 in, 4 hold, 8 out for the first round. So slow.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's what we do in yoga.
Yeah.
Too. Mhm.
And then the second round is more of you're trying to get more of a flow, like a circle, like
Equal amount.
Equal,
Inhale, exhale.
equal. Yeah.
That is so helpful.
Yeah.
And it can help our audience also. That's a great way to also, calm your brain waves. You maybe create also brain and heart coherence. So we actually look for this because we are more grounded, we are more centered. In that state, you make better decisions, you treat yourself better, people around you. So we're looking for that coherence, and breathing techniques are so powerful.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. And then after that, what do you do? Yoga?
Well, I do yoga. I do hot yoga almost every single day.
You go to Core Power?
I go to Core Power.
Where one do you go to?
I go to Sherman Oaks.
Oh.
9 out of 10 times I go to Sherman Oaks. I've been to Encino, but I usually go to Sherman Oaks because it's closer to my house. Because I have anxiety, I have to be very, very aware when I am telling myself a narrative that hasn't happened yet, that the chances of it happening aren't very good. And
Oh, you have to be careful.
What would be the worst thing if
You
it did
always
happen?
have to envision the best possible outcome.
Oh God, I'm so bad at that. Help me.
Oh, Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Yes.
He has a mind movie exercise when you always envision the best possible outcome, everything going smoothly. You do it in the morning. You envision your day actually going smoothly. You're making a deal, interview going well.
Yeah.
So you see it already happening. Because most people, and one of our brain functions is to keep us safe. I don't know if you know this.
Yeah.
And
Because I only read his first book, Breaking the Habit of Being
so
Yourself.
Becoming Supernatural and You're the Placebo, all of them are amazing.
Okay.
And so helpful because you literally create your reality with the thoughts that you think. This is something that I really learned from Dr. Joe, that evening routine is even more powerful than a morning routine. Dr. Wayne Dyer talks about this also. So most people just randomly scroll down the Instagram before they go to sleep, which is like the worst day to end your day. So paying attention to what you do before you go to sleep. One thing people don't know about you.
Oh my gosh. Left-handed? No, I don't know. What did they know? I mean, I don't think people know a lot about me because, you know,
Like the most of your friends or something.
Oh, okay, my friend.
Not.
what don't they know about me? I'm extremely claustrophobic.
Okay, yeah, that's really good. Yeah. This is a small studio. We're almost done.
Oh, no, it's great. This does not feel closed at all.
So we kind of touched this before, but what is your own definition of success?
Well, I do think that as we're talking about it, you know, being a good person, being a good friend, being a good daughter, wife, allows me to feel good about myself. You know, the older I get, the worse I feel when I fall or when I carry myself in a way that isn't too, you know, the concept of keeping your side of the street clean. So there's that internal feeling of, I've kind of always been a relatively actualized person. I remember even when I was teaching at the studio, people would say, Trisha, she's mean and she's intimidating. And I was like, oh my God, I do not think I'm mean. Like, how do you think I'm mean?
No, I really loved you.
Yeah,
Trisha is so cool.
I think we had the same vibe because what my friend told me, Angel, who used to run the camera, Murphy, he said to me, no, it's not that you're mean. He said, it's that you know who you are and they don't. And because you know who you are, that is very intimidating to other people. And so to me, having a friend reflect that back at me is my idea of success. People thinking or seeing in me things that I don't even see or that I need to be made aware of so that I can focus on them more and let them multiply, you know, because if you don't feel good about yourself, which in some level involves, you know, self-care and emotional, spiritual maintenance, then you can't be good in the world.
That is true.
You know,
you have to first be in peace with yourself where you are in order to add the value to others.
And I will say that this year, you know, when the Unborn hit the charts, at the Apple has a true crime chart that is a top 200 chart, and it entered the chart at like 101, let's say. And my husband and I were like, oh my God, our podcast is 101. And there's been no promotion. And then all of a sudden it started going up and up and up and up and up. Then it hit top 20, then it hit 18, 13, 10, 9, and it went up to number 5. And the feeling of my husband and I kind of just, it means nothing to anybody else in the whole world, but us jumping around our living room and being like, we created this thing. We worked for 4 years so hard, and it went out in the world and people responded to it. That is like the idea of external success. Have we made $1 off it? No, we have not. But
Not yet.
still
Just
felt
say
not yet. And we will.
Yeah.
But not yet. But that still felt like success.
It felt really good.
Yeah.
This is so interesting because I thought of this yesterday. Anything to do successfully on your own, if you're starting your own business, creating anything, it requires so much work, so much perseverance, and people are not aware. Are there any charities you support?
Yes, I'm super into foster care. Wherever you live, there is a foster care chapter.
And people can donate clothing.
You can donate whatever you want. I'm specifically commenting that if you're going to get rid of suitcases, bring those suitcases to your local foster care chapter, wherever you are in the world. We also, my husband and I volunteer at St. Charles on Thursdays to feed the homeless.
Amazing.
It's in Toluca Lake. That they're wonderful, that organization, and they have a clothing chapter, like room out across the street from the
You can
church.
donate
Yes, and they set it up like a
clothing.
store, but everything's free. But everything's on racks and spread out very well. And
That is such a
those
great
are the
way.
main two that.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
That is so.
Oh no, of course, yeah.
To get.
I mean, it's good for all of us, right? You know, and it's very humbling.
Thank you, Trisha. You have such a great energy.
Oh, thank
I just love talking to you. I know how actors usually do not break the fourth wall.
Don't want to look. They don't camera. You're like, look in the camera. I'm so
Yes. What do you find to be your true calling? Is it acting? Where do you feel more expressed?
Well, it's funny because I will say that when I'm acting, I like acting the best. When I'm directing, I like directing the best. When I'm writing, I like writing the best. And when I'm producing, I don't want to do it. No, I'm just kidding. It's very hard. So, you know, I want to do all of them. I would love to play a lawyer on TV for the rest of my life and direct as many episodes of that show that the creative team allows me. And if I am the creative team, then I will just tell them that I'm directing and starring and writing.
Is there anywhere our audience can watch you right now? Anything coming up in next year?
So right now, I actually got a really cool potential gig for the beginning of this year, but I'm scared to jinx it, so I don't want to talk about it. But if I do it, that'll be great. But other than that, because it just popped up right before Christmas, and then everything shut down. So I'm like, so I'm waiting until the new year to find out. Okay.
Yeah, that's how it's always like waiting.
Yeah.
And to where can we find you online? What is the social media?
So my Instagram is just at Trisha LaFache, TrishaLaFache, and I think that's everything, really. The Twitter,
Twitter, so across all platforms.
Yeah, it's just my name. Yeah, I think it's so Gen Z of everyone to have these fun names, but I'm just not there yet. I'm just like, I don't know what that is. And half the people always tell me, I follow you, and I'm like, if it's not your name, I don't know who you are. But I think it's cute.
It is. What is your goal for 2025?
Well, I want to sell The Unborn as a TV show or a film. And I want to maybe do another podcast. And I want to continue working on myself. And I want to read the Joe Dispenza book that you're sending to me and work on the exercises. Because I think that I feel re-inspired, add to my arsenal of things that I'm doing to make sure that I show up as my best self
Every day. Thank you, Trisha.
Thank
Great
you,
to have you
Anna.
here. Such an honor.
So fun.
My once acting coach. Here we are. Thank you so much all for tuning in. Now, grab your journal. Time to take action. This is the exercise for today. In your journal, write down the purpose or mission that you arrived in step 1. So you have to watch the previous episode to get in touch with that exercise. So in your journal, write down the purpose or mission statement you arrived at step 1. Under that statement, write down 5 or 6 realistic, achievable goals that support that mission. For example, let's say that you've decided that your purpose this year is to be healthier. That's a really broad area. So to track your progress, you need to narrow down your goals and be specific. Your list might look like this. My purpose to be the healthiest version of myself I can be, physically, mentally, emotionally. And then underneath that purpose, write down my goals. Meditate every morning and evening. Learn about nutrition and prepare my own healthy meals. Exercise at least 4 hours a week. Cut personal screen time to no more than 30 minutes a day. No screen time before bed. Invest more time and attention in my relationships. And last, keep a journal to track my progress. Whatever your goals, it's very important that they align with your purpose. That's what keeps you on track. And as you achieve some of these goals on your list, make sure to add new ones so you keep making progress and that you keep challenging yourself throughout the year. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really hope that this episode inspires you. Make sure to do the exercise. It is very important to think positively, to feel great every day, but taking action is what will actually take you from where you are now to where you want to be. Have an amazing week, and we'll see you next time.